Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doom Productions podcast, a podcast hosted by Doom Productions. I'm Jordan.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Zach.
And today, right off the bat, we're getting right into some news. We have 2 release dates to announce. Those who've been following us for some time know we've been working on 2 movies. One is Wild Boys 3, The Lost Book of Bigfoot, and the other one is Two Little Ghosts, which has been in production. Well, we've been working on that one for a while.
Hasn't even been in production. It's kind of just been waiting.
Yeah, by this point, it's been waiting for a while. We've been sitting on it. Wild Boys has been... Well, as of now, Wild Boys isn't done, but there's one audio thing just to literally drop into the timeline.
It's so close.
So we're like, we thought we'd just announce it, stick to the date, and it'll come out that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here to announce that Wild Boys 3, The Lost Book of Bigfoot, is going to be released September 23rd.
Yeah.
September 23rd. It'll hit at midnight, I'm guessing.
Something like that.
It's going to hit at midnight. A trailer will drop this Monday, so stay tuned this Monday morning. You'll get to see a trailer for Wild Boys. It's slightly different than the one that was shown in Yakima, but
Hits the same.
hits all the same beats, but it's our public version of that trailer, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the movie drops on Friday,
Yeah.
the 23rd, a week from today when you're listening to this.
To go right into your eyeballs.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks from then, on October 7th, is when Two Little Ghosts is coming out. The trailer for that will come out on the 3rd of October. The movie will drop on the 7th. And so mark your calendars, people. If you're a fan of Doom Productions, mark your calendars, prepare your weekends, set a date, set a time, pick a moment where you're going to watch it and watch these movies.
Prepare your hearts.
Yeah.
Prepare your souls.
That's it. Goodbye. End of the podcast.
It was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
See you next week.
This has been a stacked year for us at Doom Productions. If you've been following us, kind of all the details and everything. But we promised you before we went on our little hiatus back in June, I believe, Bell Rings in August, Wild Boys 3 in September, and Two Little Ghosts in October, and we're sticking to that promise. I know the times are bumping up a little bit close to each other with the later 2 movies, but,
It happens.
it happens. Whatever. The movies will live on YouTube. You don't have to watch it that weekend, but...
You have to watch it.
But yeah, you have to watch it. And so we're here today, I guess, just to talk about those projects a little bit more and maybe our year. And we'll probably get, we don't know where this conversation is going to lead us, but kind of bring you up to speed with Wild Boys and Two Little Ghosts.
It's kind of fun to talk about the movies ahead of time. We don't usually do that. I mean, Doom Productions is pretty secretive about the details of what's happening. Like, oh yeah, they're shooting Wild Boys 3, but what does that mean? What does that look like?
Right.
Same with Two Little Ghosts. Like, there's a lot of... We don't like to publicly talk about these things. We thought it'd be kind of interesting to break our own rule a bit here and kind of speak ahead of it.
We figured this would be a hype podcast for movies that are coming out.
It's for the kids.
And so, I mean, where do we begin? Wild Boys is coming out first.
Yeah.
But Two Little Ghosts began
way
before.
Back in Video Carnage days.
Before that.
Yeah.
Back in October days.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Have you seen the documentary posted on our channel?
I haven't. I actually haven't sat down and watched it early.
I'm on after Two Little Ghosts released, there's a 40-minute documentary I edited about the making of that movie.
Yeah.
So all the BTS, all the juicy stuff. There's footage in there from 2 years ago. So we'll get really into detail about the making of that movie. But let's well, first off, I guess what do we hope will happen with these movies? What's our kind of ambition?
I mean, with both of them, it's kind of the same in different ways. I mean, obviously the hope is that people enjoy them and they watch them. But I think what's kind of cool about, Wild Boys, it's a continued story.
Yeah.
Not to speak for
Very
you,
much.
Mr. Director, but it's like my comparison between the two is they're both like continuations in a world where Wild Boys is a very direct continuation of a story. I hope people are excited about that. But then also the connective tissue between October and Two Little Ghosts is there, and I don't know. It's watching.
Well, because
to
that's
watch
kind of
some
part
worlds
of your
grow.
–
anthology of
yeah,
Halloween movies.
I don't know if anybody knows this, because it's been a while since I've talked about it. Two Little Ghosts is technically a spin-off of October.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen our movie October, go check it out right now.
It's the perfect time of year to watch it.
It really is. There's a ghost character who appears throughout the movie. This is a movie. Two Little Ghosts is about that character.
Yeah.
And so I totally forgot about that. Yeah. It's a spin-off technically,
Yeah.
but it's a part of a greater project. My goal is to make 31 feature films that are Halloween movies, because there's lots of movies about Christmas and other holidays, but there's not as many about Halloween and kind of pure just focused on Halloween.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a holiday that needed some love, because a lot of the movies we associate with Halloween are horror movies that have nothing to do with Halloween, or they have Halloween vibes, but they're not actually set on Halloween.
Or they're set on Halloween and it just doesn't focus on it.
Right. And so there's a select handful of movies that I think go well, like that are actually about Halloween and all that stuff. So I wanted to make 31 feature films about Halloween pretty much.
Yeah.
And so Two Little Ghosts is the second one, which I didn't even realize till now. It's the second one, and it's got two in the title. October was the first one, and there will be more to come, but that's another time for, that's a story for another time. Anyways, two sequels coming out pretty much, so I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I don't know. And there's not much of a good hope analogy, I guess, or like expectations. It's just kind of, I think it's just exciting to see these continued stories coming out. And,
right.
To see people interact with those
Zach,
as they will.
Do people need to see the other Wild Boys movies before they see this one?
Oh, absolutely.
You heard it, folks. Go watch the first two Wild Boys movies now. But do you think anyone could enjoy it without seeing the other?
Oh, I think they could enjoy it. Yeah, for sure.
But you're not a true fan.
Yeah. See, here, slight related sidetrack. I am one of those people with movie series that one of my hugest pet peeves in life is so petty, but it means so much to me in that, like, you can't just, like, with movies like the MCU, you can't just jump in like the third Thor movie and expect to understand what's going on completely with that happened in the previous movies, that happened in the previous group movies, etc., or like jumping into like Empire Strikes Back before watching A New Hope,
right,
or something like that. It's like you don't start on the second book without reading the first book. In the same way with movies. So
when I started watching Wheel of Time, I started on episode 3.
Oh,
and I've not
that
seen the
still
first
hurts
two
me.
episodes. I still haven't seen them.
And it's like it's not that big of a deal, since it's, well, my opinion is it's not the best show, but it's still like, it hurts my brain. Because it's like I talked to my friends when it came around the time of Infinity War and Endgame, and I was like, okay, I will not go see the movie with you until you've seen all the previous movies, because I do not want to support this behavior.
This sounds surprisingly in character for you in Wild Boys.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that about sequels, because I remember back in the day when the Lord of the Rings films came out, something I think it might have been Roger Ebert, but other critics had pointed out at the time was they would say, "Oh, Return of the King is great. You can't understand it if you haven't seen the other movies." And they kind of talked about it as if that was a knock against the movie, which is kind of an interesting shift. Where back, and I don't even know if that's a real mentality people had way back when, but the idea that you had to, a sequel was only good if you could see it on its own as a like that's what that was one of the things they took into account to making like a quote unquote good sequel.
Interesting.
Whereas today it's like
there are so many franchises that it's just like at this
it's
point,
all a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Even we have cinematic universes now.
Yeah.
The Wild Boys, the
October
universe.
Maybe they're one. Who knows?
The House and Bell Rings universe, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, actually, real side quest or side track.
I love saying side quest instead of sidetrack.
Is what connections do you think narratively and within the world there are between House and the Bell Rings?
That is such a loaded question that I don't even know if I have answers to.
We'll just make up something.
This is Jordan asking this for people listening. This isn't something we've talked about. I mean, when I wrote the Bell Rings, I always wanted them to be like, I called them spiritual like sequels, where they are opposite to each other, where like House is very dark and Bell Rings is very bright. And there's some like overlapping imagery, like apples. Their direct shots, Twilight, the Twilight connection. I don't know. I'm in it.
Okay.
Etc.
Okay.
I don't know.
That wasn't a very thrilling answer, but
I don't
I'll allow
know. If someone wants to write a paper about it, are there any film students listening to this podcast?
Yeah, who's in film school who's a fan of
Somebody,
ours?
please.
Someone else do it.
I will do it when I go back.
Someone else do it.
You said that with intent to conquer and destroy.
Oh, I do.
You're saying within the essay, you're like, these movies from Doom Productions, the professor like looks up Doom Productions, they see your face all over it. Yes. Zach, did you write a paper about your own movie? No, it's okay. I'm only in one of them for a little bit.
It's true, you're not in House. You
Yeah,
get away with
true,
that.
yeah.
You get away with it. I'd give it a pass. You're an actor. You're a side character.
Yeah.
You got like one scene.
Yeah.
You're a nobody in my movie. It doesn't even matter.
I literally am.
You're a nameless character.
Yeah.
I'll give it a pass.
But
yeah, I mean, I see, those are, I don't know. They're related.
They're related, but it's up to the audience to find out.
Now, Bell Rings 2, that's another story.
Yeah. How does that connect to Wild Boys 4? But Wild Boys 3, I think I agree with you, Zach. I think you need to see the first two to really... I mean, because there's jokes that build upon the first two.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just, there's characters that show up, there's things that happen, all kind of like, it grows.
I mean, something that we talked... When the first movie, a big recurring joke was the soda can cracking, and cracking one open with a cold boy, or whatever.
Yeah.
I said.
Crack open a cold one.
When we did the sequel, it was a conscious decision to not just keep doing that joke because we thought people might get sick of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to beat a dead horse. But we do have soda cracks in 2 and 3 because it's just a part of the...
It's funny.
It's
a
become
callback.
It's a callback. It's a recurring joke now. But it's kind of the way we looked at it is like you establish a joke hard in whatever happens first, like whether it be in episode 1 or 3 or whatever, you really build upon it in that, and then it's just hinted at after that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
It's a gift for the audience that knows.
Yeah.
To enjoy and point and be like, I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you weren't watching it with that background, it'd be...
So if you weren't... Yeah, if you hadn't seen the first Wild Boys, I mean, you could enjoy this one, but when a soda cracks in Wild Boys 3, you're not going to necessarily have the same reaction as someone who...
Well, also, like, appearances of certain characters
Right.
that are big parts of the first one or the second one that are, like, integral to the plot in this one but don't show up as much.
I'm just thinking about Wild Boys 2, if you only watch that one, and seeing Rich and Marcus show up at the end.
You're
Just
like,
like, what the frick?
Out of left field moment.
Well, also, that's another one with the soda crack. I'm drinking eggnog because it's different, because it's Christmas. And my guy
but you're
was
just drinking something. That's what you do.
And
Turns out your character is just a raging alcoholic.
And so, if you had just seen the second one, and I cracked the soda can at the because there's only one soda crack in Wild Boys 2, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we went really restrained.
Yeah.
If you only watched if you didn't watch the first one, you'd be like, oh, that's okay. He switched to soda now. That's cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you watch the first one, you're thinking, oh, there's the crack. That's the...
It's
the
the
thing.
Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It's like...
Yeah, he did the thing.
It's Caleb Robinson's butt crack in all of his movies. Well, there's RC Films has Caleb's crack. Doom Productions has the soda crack. But yeah,
The way God intended it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke, but then I was like, there's we couldn't do that.
It's but yeah, the and we never. I mean, did we ever really talk about the second Wild Boys movie? Much?
I don't think we did. I don't think
really.
there's no podcast for it.
We didn't reference it.
No.
We haven't talked about it.
No.
Okay, but that thing needs some views, people. So
Yes, it
actually,
does.
seriously,
Seriously, Wild Boys 1 is our most highly viewed video, and I think Wild Boys 2 is one of our least viewed feature films.
exactly.
And that's a war crime, frankly, if I'm honest.
So please, actually, I think that's the first thing. Before Wild Boys 3 comes out, you need to see the first two.
Brush up.
It's no longer
Or
you
rewatch
still
them.
enjoy. No, you have to. It's your homework. It's required.
Yeah.
You wouldn't show up to freaking Endgame without having watched the other one. What's the other one called?
My mom.
The other
did.
20
What's
other movies.
the one before Endgame?
Oh, Infinity War.
Infinity War.
When Infinity War
Well,
came out, she had never seen the other Marvel movies.
I feel like
don't
that's
think.
more
See,
forgivable.
I have words for your mother.
I have words for your mother.
You see, now that's a joke that builds on itself from the live stream last summer in Chicago.
And just Wild Boys Jordan, too.
And Wild Boys Jordan.
But anyways, yeah.
Just to put my soul at peace, your mother has seen the previous movie.
Yeah, she
now.
no,
Okay,
just
good.
she's the biggest Marvel fan in
Okay.
our family now.
Good.
Like
Good.
she's seen more of it than I have, I think. She's seen all the shows and everything.
It's a chaotic episode.
Yeah. But hey, hey, we're getting you ready for Wild Boys 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild
That's
Boys
true.
3 is coming out the 23rd. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be chaotic. It is our biggest Wild Boys movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just in terms of scale.
There are
we had to
50
rein it-
scenes.
Yeah, we reined it back
We had to.
in editing. Like, such an interesting experiment in, like, I think we'll have to talk about this at some point.
Well, we kind of did.
That's
in
true.
the-
That's true. That's true. We have the podcast released after. We pre-recorded an episode, so
Yeah, there's a Wild Boys podcast that'll
come out the week after.
right
And
that
it'll like deep dive.
the 30th. No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
is
the
it
30th.
Yeah, the
30th,
30th
yeah.
of September. We're going to go into the behind the scenes of Wild Boys a little bit. But Wild Boys 3 was our most ambitious Wild Boys easily.
Oh yeah.
The other two were restrained to one location, whereas this one was restrained to... I mean, there was no restraint. It was just completely wherever we want it to go.
Yeah.
And that was the whole idea behind it. So there was 50 scenes within the movie. There was a bunch of different locations. Zach just left.
Where did he go? Did he DoorDash? I'm putting
Hold
money
up,
on
hold
it.
up, hold up. We're leaving
Zach
this in
just
the episode.
left podcast to get his DoorDash.
Zach has returned.
Sorry, guys. I got a call.
You get clip that on. You don't get. There's no excuse. There's
Hold
no
up.
escape.
So we were just recording this episode, and Zach got up and left. I saw him reach for his phone. I
was
thought,
like,
oh, he
oh.
got a text or he's
I
got
thought
a
he
call.
got a call. Yeah.
Right.
I did get
He
a call.
leaves, and he comes back with DoorDash.
He just gets up, and I was ready to carry on without him, not make a
I
big
was
fuss.
too.
I was ready for
Then
it.
I heard
he,
a commotion out
Then
there.
he left the door open. I was like, wow, a little rude, but okay. And then no, he's getting DoorDash.
I'm sorry. The diabetic needs his dinner.
Is that a single tortilla from Chipotle? In that? No, I'm joking. Think of weird things to DoorDash.
Chipotle, sponsor us, please.
Chipotle's pretty good.
That's a big burrito.
Indeed.
You gonna share that burrito?
Do you have diabetes? That's his question to you.
No, but I could.
Anyways, what were we talking
What were we talking about?
Okay, let's refresh here. Okay, so we were talking about Wild Boys 3. I'm sorry for the listeners at home.
Listen, you gotta stick with. There's some good tidbits. We're getting. If
yeah.
you want to know about our movies, this is the one to listen
This
to.
is it. This is a raw episode here. You're not.
We're not usually this chaotic. I don't think. I think last
no.
week, the end of last week's episode was pretty chaotic.
That was pretty chaotic. I think that was still more chaotic than this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Anyways,
This is like gone mild, kind of wild.
come on. Yeah. Anyways, Wild Boys 3 is coming out. I can't even remember the point we were talking. Okay,
It's coming out. Anyways, let's switch over gears here maybe a little bit. That might help us out.
Right.
Doritos.
Two Little Ghosts.
Yeah, we can talk about Two Little Ghosts a bit. I don't even know where to begin. You should ask the questions for that.
Well, just give us, I mean, again, I know a lot of this is going to get covered, but give me bird's eye view kind of storyline of how Two Little Ghosts came to be. Because you've been starting on this again since October.
So
not the month, the movie.
This is in the behind the scenes documentary from conception of the idea to it being released. Two Little Ghosts will have taken 2 years exactly to make.
Yeah.
So the idea happened in October of 2020.
Okay.
It was going to be, the whole thing was planned as a semi backup. Zach, you don't worry about making noise.
Okay.
Don't
worry, everyone. Zach is just about to shoot up in the middle of this podcast.
He's carefully pulling out some needles, and he's like trying not to be. It's okay.
We know.
It's all good. Two Little Ghosts was planned to be so even backing up before that, October was the movie we made.
His drugs all over your room.
I have to prime the needle. I'm sorry. Your room's just gonna smell like elephant piss now.
Why don't you just into your mouth so that way you don't waste it?
Waste it?
Yeah, because you're getting a little bit of
because your body doesn't process it through your stomach.
Well,
that would destroy all this stuff.
How much does that stuff cost? What's the street value on that?
Street value?
What's the street value on it?
I haven't bought an insulin off the street.
Can you?
That's a follow-up question. That is a good question.
If I wanted to go to a back alley deal and buy me some insulin, what would that cost me?
You just go to Zach and be like, "Hey, can I buy your medicine?" And he'd be like, like $5,000," and you're like, "Done."
I love the American healthcare system.
Exactly. Wow. Well, I really hope people stick with this episode because it's going to some good places.
You're getting to know us very well.
Yeah.
The title is just going to be Doomed Chaos.
I don't even know what I'm going to title this one.
You are doomed. No, it's got to be.
We already did that one. You're doomed. What's a thumbnail? It's a thumbnail from when we did the Yakima one.
Anyways, yeah. Okay. When we made October, the idea was we're going to make a feature film
every year. That was the plan for Halloween.
Well, not for Halloween, but for we're gonna make it in like a week or so. I think we scheduled it out beforehand. We were pretty much like we're gonna shoot a feature film in 2 weeks or something along
October,
those lines.
the movie?
October.
Oh, yeah.
And leading up to prepping for that movie, I was like, there's a chance that this movie might completely fall through. If that's the case, I have another idea for a movie, which was Two Little Ghosts.
Okay.
That one was about, a character who always wears their Halloween costume, and it was just going to be about that as a character, as an idea, and as a backup plan. But, we didn't need one. October came out.
Went great.
We loved it. And so then after it was released, it was time to start thinking about the next one, which was Two Little Ghosts. And so it was going to be a live-action movie. And then I saw Joel Haver's video on the animation of Eevee Synth. and then I tried Eevee. Then I was like, okay, this whole movie's going to be Eevee Synth animation. That'll be fun. I'll try it out.
Yeah.
Tried Eevee Synth. I hated it. I couldn't get control of that system or software at all.
Joel's a master.
Joel really is a master. There's some great other people on YouTube who I've seen do it, and it's just really awesome what they're able to pull off. But I do think that it takes a certain level of skill to, you have to work at it, and you have to know how it works.
Yeah, you can't just jump into Eevee Synth and do it.
I could not get to that level, so...
What you did was good, though. Just to point out, the Eevee Synth stuff you did do was still cool.
I guess.
It just was
It's not
hard.
what I was looking for.
Yeah, it just wasn't the right tool.
It was very uncontrollable. And so then I was like, well, I'll 2D animate the entire movie because I'd rather than do that than do Eevee Synth. And in my head, it was like, okay, now that it's an animated movie, I only see it as an animated movie. Video carnage happened in this process.
Yeah. So we're in 2021 now.
Yeah, the timeline will be more clear once you see the behind the scenes, but 2021, I'm animating, video carnage happens, puts the animation on pause essentially. So much on pause that I'm not on track anymore to have it released by October 2021, excuse me. And so by that point, after Video Carnage came out, it was like, okay, do I scrap the movie? Do I rush to finish it by the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with this thing? Ultimately, I decided that rather than force myself to finish the 2D animated project, because how far I went, I had improved as an animator just over the course of doing 10-15 minutes of animation. So the later stuff I had done looked significantly better than the earlier stuff that I had done. And I thought, this project is going to look really wonky and not really cohesive. I want something that's cohesive. So rather than spend a lot of time on something that I'm ultimately not super proud of and has holes in it and everything, I'm going to scrap the whole thing. I'm going to take what I learned, and I'm going to have it's going to be a live action movie with 2D animated portions peppered throughout of it. And so I animated all the animation stuff in summer of 2021, and then we shot the movie from late September 2021 through, I think the last pickup was like the 1st of December or something like that.
Yeah.
2021. Movie was pretty much edited by the end of the year. Besides for some audio stuff, but I've pretty much been sitting on this for a long time.
It's been ready.
It's been ready for a long time just because, I thought it's got to be Halloween. It's got to be October when you see it.
You can't drop that movie in like May.
It even felt weird watching it with the folks in Yakima in August.
Yeah.
It would have, even watching it in September, I think feels better than watching it.
September is fall's like primer month.
Right.
Like it gets a pass.
So that's the whole backstory, really, of how Two Little Ghosts got made. So I say it took 2 years to make, but from conception to release. That's a very specific thing to specify. It didn't take 2 years to make. Realistically, it took maybe a month to make.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the animation, not including all the previous animation I'd done, the animation that actually ends up in the movie was like 60 hours total. I spent 60 hours animating everything in the movie. So,
It's pretty impressive.
What? That's like 3 days roughly, 2.5 days pretty much.
Of nonstop.
Of nonstop animation. So 2 days added on to all our production days. Maybe 15 to 20 days, somewhere in that ballpark. That's how many days it actually took to physically make. Like to either film or animate or record audio, edit, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But, I make it sound more dramatic when I'm like, took 2 years to make and all that stuff. Yeah. But what I think people can expect is go into it ready to first I would encourage you to watch October.
I was going to say, do people need to watch October to go into this movie?
I wouldn't say it's a requirement at all. I don't think you need to see October. I don't think anybody...
I don't think so either.
Even at the Yakima screening, I'm not even sure how many of them have seen October too. Maybe some of them have. I know we've talked to some people up there about October, but...
Yeah, some people have definitely seen it, but not everyone for sure.
You really don't need to, but I think the idea behind it is really just... These are movies that it's about Halloween, really. So watch it to kind of get in the, spooky season spirit, really.
Yeah.
To get into the mood of Halloween. And that's why I released it on October 7th, because I feel like rather than dropping it on the 31st or even that weekend, if you release something on Halloween, after Halloween, the magic kind of goes away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to kind of chill in the Halloween spirit anymore. It's kind of all about the build-up.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll give people a month to build up to it, and they can use it as like a primer for the holiday and that kind of thing.
Which is funny because that's kind of part of the themes of the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's different because October takes place over the course of October. That's why it's called October.
Yeah, it's the whole month.
Two Little Ghosts. Be very careful about what I say.
Yeah.
October's not the pivotal month.
Right.
With
it is definitely about Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween appears in the film. I don't even want to say
so
how much.
No, it's just the movie is not isolated to that time frame, but that's like the heart of it.
Oh, yeah. It's about Halloween. Halloween's the heart of it. But it's a good movie to watch, honestly, September or November, because just the
Either
fall
as
season.
the wind up or the wind down, it works
Right.
well.
I think I would say just within the boundaries of fall is a good time to watch Two Little Ghosts.
Yeah.
That's what I'll leave it at that. Because I'm not. I don't want to say what it's about even, or kind of. I mean, I think people can figure it out what it's about, but like, this is a movie. I think it's short. I think it's sweet, short and sweet to the point. Just go into it without knowing much about it.
Yeah, and bear with it.
Yeah,
I think it kind of eases you in, and I think that's a good thing. Let the vibes carry you.
Right. I think it's a movie that's not entirely. So there's a couple different lenses I'm looking at, but in my opinion, it's kind of a mixed media kind of project. It's not visually very. I mean, you guys might disagree. I don't think it's very visually cohesive necessarily. It kind of feels like, like a collage type of project in a way.
I agree.
Like,
with that.
you cutting out newspaper, gluing it to magazines, and putting album covers, and like you kind of all these mixed different media kind of stuff, putting all in one thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at the movie.
I wouldn't view that as a negative though.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
That's kind of part of the charm.
But
you went into it.
I had a
knowing that's what it would
vision
be.
in mind.
True.
So it's different. It's different. There's parts of the movie that I absolutely love. One of my favorite parts of the movie is the music. Again, I'm the worst person listening because I'm completely biased because that's all me. But the music is the stuff I'm happiest with, and
Music turned out really good.
And there's an animated thing in the middle of the movie that I'm like, it's complicated because it's like now I'm learned and like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of mistakes, but it's also one of my favorite parts of the movie. But it's complicated.
It's really good.
Anyways, you guys saw the movie in Yakima. What were rather than just me talk about it, what were people's reactions or how is it played? Why don't you describe the experience of watching it?
I mean, the people I sat next to were like really disruptive because I was sitting by these two people in the back, we're watching, and they kept crying throughout the dang movie. And it was so distracting. No, I'm just kidding. It was Zach and Nathan.
and I. Oh my god.
You guys were having a moment back there.
Yeah, we were.
There were at least 3 people that cried while watching that movie.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
Well, it sounds like a joke but it's
true.
It's true.
There were 4 people who were crying when the lights came up and everything.
Yeah.
For the movie.
Can't say that about any of our other movies.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as I'm aware.
It's I'll I guess leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't want to say much more on that end at least.
Right.
People enjoyed it. There's some really my favorite bit is like the ending like big moment,
Yeah.
I was there when we shot that, and it was so tedious the way we shot it. To see it come together.
Yeah.
Was really satisfying. It was really cool. Like I enjoyed shooting it.
Yeah,
but it was
did not.
It
was so like you said, it was so tedious.
It was very tedious, but it wasn't like hard.
No. It was like set up a camera, let it roll for 5 minutes,
and then the same setup, but change one part of it, do the same exact thing again, change the next part of it, do it again.
I think it was like 12 or 15 different takes we had to do.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. And you had to run through the whole thing.
It wasn't difficult. It was just tedious, like you said.
But seeing it come together, I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it was a really neat thing, and I think it brings. See, that bit again. Like I talk vaguely here.
Yeah. To not spoil
that ending bit, I think, brings the collaginess of the movie full circle and makes it feel intentional. Even though I know it wasn't your vision, it like sums it up, and I think it gives it purpose beyond what was intentional at the time.
Right.
So
that's fair.
That's how I see it.
It's it's a movie.
It's a movie. We all agree? It is a movie.
It's
Harry Styles agrees. Oh my gosh.
It is a movie. Yeah.
There's some fun people who pop up in that movie.
There's some cameos.
Yeah.
Vocal and physical. What else can we say about it? It's short. It's like 60 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
it is. An
hour, it's pretty short.
So it's a pretty easy watch, I think.
There's no bell rings over here.
No, I think that both Wild Boys and Two Little Ghosts, they're not like, they're pretty quick watches.
They're pretty comparable. I think what Wild Boys like. Wild Boys 3 is like what, an hour 13 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
Something,
it doesn't even. It's not over 15 minutes.
Pretty
An hour and
breezy.
15. Yeah. Two Little Ghosts is like an hour, and that's including the credits and everything.
The credits have some great. Oh, stick through the credits. That's something I think is important.
Oh yeah.
The end credits has some really cool. You get to kind of see the evolution of the animation.
Oh yeah, I'll say the at the end of the credits after it, there's like test animation from the Two Little Ghosts from when it was going to be a 2D animated movie, the entire thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of animation you see at the end of the credits is test animation, but also animation that was going to be in the other movie and lots of different stuff. So you can kind of see the visual evolution of the 2D style that I came up with for the movie.
It's cool.
Yeah. There's also some 3D animation in Two Little Ghosts as well. Some CGI in there. It's probably very obvious what it is when you see it, but if anyone wants to try to guess what it is.
What'd you animate through? I guess that's a question.
Blender. And all the software that I used is listed in the credits for the movie too.
Yeah.
It's like GIMP, Final Cut, and Blender. There might be one more. It's probably it. Oh, and GarageBand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that stuff.
Free.
Yeah, all free.
Except for Final Cut.
Except for Final Cut. Everything else is free.
But a lot
and
cheaper.
Assuming you have an iPhone or an Apple computer or whatever.
Pretty Mac-centric out here.
Yeah. It's the way to go.
Can't agree. As someone who resisted a long time.
Yeah.
It's nice. Do love it.
Yeah, but I think Two Little Ghosts, I don't know what people want to know necessarily about it, because again, I think you should just see the movie.
Yeah.
It's an experience that...
I think the less you know, the better.
Yeah, the less you know, you better. I would say, here's actually the best way to do it. You can do this with Wild Boys 3 as well, but I think the best way to watch Two Little Ghosts is watch it in your room, watch it in a dark room, light some candles around, get some like candy corn or like Halloween candy, popcorn, get like Halloween...
Even like some little orange decorative lights. If you're gonna
get some decorative lights.
Yeah.
Get some candy apples or like caramel apples, stuff like that. Get like fall themed food, corn if you want. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Get an elote. Elote's better.
Pumpkin beers.
Pumpkin beers if you want.
Just
Surround
immerse yourself.
Immerse yourself in a fall and like pumpkin. Get a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
Or which is better, the pumpkin cream cold brews from Starbucks.
I've heard those are good.
I'm not going to be vulgar right now. I'll tell you how to describe it after this, but it is one of the greatest things I've ever tasted. That pumpkin cream, it's absolutely amazing.
See, I'm a fan of the caramel ice cold brew.
Yeah,
that one I really like. So I'm curious about the pumpkin one. I'm not a big pumpkin spice latte fan.
What's different? It's just a cold brew, but it's got pumpkin cream in it.
See,
and it's
Starbucks creams, man, they're so freaking good.
Anyways, get your favorite. Get like a fall themed beverage. Get fall themed snacks.
Yeah.
Dark room. Light some candles. Get a jack-o'-lantern out. Get some Halloween decorations. Surround yourself with it, and watch the movie. That's the best way to watch Two Little Ghosts, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I think.
I agree.
Zach, what's the best way for people to watch Wild Boys?
Wild Boys 3?
Yeah.
To watch all three at once, which would
Honestly,
actually be really fun. I
honestly,
actually am very curious. I might do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't watched the other ones in a really long time. I haven't seen Wild Boys 1 in ages.
Are you saying like consecutively or
Yeah,
like
just-
having three different screens?
They're not that long.
They aren't.
No.
Like
You could
the
do the
first
whole thing in
one's
like 3
hour
hours.
25.
Yeah.
Second one's like
Okay, so
hour
3.5
10.
hours.
Yeah.
One Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings movie.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No,
I
yeah.
think I want to see how cohesive that is, honestly.
That
Yeah.
would be interesting because I haven't done that with the first two either. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be
But yeah,
curious.
I know the Grannon girls talked to us about doing a mini marathon.
They should.
About doing
Everyone should.
all three
I want them,
Wild Boys at once since they haven't seen the first two. yet.
Grannon folks, Yakima folks, if you all decide to do a Wild Boys night, please just DM us and we will like zoom in.
We'll live
Oh,
stream
yeah.
with you.
We'll zoom in to do an intro and then we'll do like a Q&A afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that'd be so fun.
yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
So please let us know if you're going to do if anyone, like if any, and our stipulation is like, if you're going to do a big screen, like invite your friends invite your family members. Just have a bunch of people over, and we'll do a proper intro and all
Our
that.
movies are best enjoyed together with people.
Really, honestly, yeah.
Wild Boys I think it's a crowd movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, that's a fun movie to hang out with friends and watch.
So
I
watch-
assume I don't know. I've
No,
actually done
I
that,
did that with my whole my roommates and our porchies, the people that we shared a porch with, and that was really fun.
So I think watch it with people.
Yeah,
Like Wild
definitely
Boys.
like a. I don't want to say it's a party movie, but it very much kind of is.
It's better to laugh with people.
Yeah. I think the test for, which I actually didn't do with this new one, but I'll screen it for them soon. But before I hit export or finished a cut of Wild Boys or any version of them, I'll screen it for my family and my sisters pretty much first, and just gauge the reactions and everything.
Yeah.
Because you can always feel a movie differently when you're with the audience.
Oh yeah,
Like
very different.
it's hard to describe, but it's like if you're watching a movie and you have a thing, even if you love it, if you're playing for it with an audience and you come to a part, even if you loved it in privately, whatever, if it's not clicking, you're going to feel it with the people. Even if it's
Yeah.
like two
And
people.
That is true.
And
yeah.
it's a deathly feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
It's like, wait a minute, that needs to be shorter or that needs to be taken out. And
That
kind
ain't
of
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But Wild Boys, watch it with people,
Yeah.
I think.
In the woods.
In the woods.
That would be cool.
That
know how
honestly,
some campgrounds in Oregon, they have those screenings?
Yeah.
The screening, like little things in the woods? That'd be a perfect place to watch Wild
It would be
Boys.
super fun. Get a little projector screen out there,
Yes.
some speakers.
That'd be good for
Is
the
it-
first one, yeah.
Is it Beverly Beach or Fort Stevens? One of those places.
Fort Stevens, I think.
Or Steve's had some campgrounds out there.
But I know
Well,
they-
they have
I
campgrounds,
know
but
they-
they're
they do
screening a movie or something.
There's a specific campground in Oregon where they have like seats, wooden long seats, and they have a projector screen, and they'll screen stuff there time
I
to
didn't know
time.
that. That's cool.
Sometimes it's like documentaries about the coast. Sometimes it's like the Goonies or something.
Huh.
But places in Oregon have it.
Well, I know they did kind of a similar thing with Dune in Florence, I think, right?
No, I was just
did
fantasizing
it?
about that.
Oh, okay.
That was just Jordan.
See, that would've
getting
been
That
really
was me.
excited.
If you're not, yeah, I talked about it would be cool to like have them set up a big projector in the Florence, Oregon dunes and screen Dune there.
That
in
would be
Florence.
epic.
But
Pretty cool.
I think
Logistical nightmare. Very
the
Oh, yeah.
logistical night absolutely because the sand would like vibrate and like you'd get like slides. So you'd have to do it on the beach. I think you couldn't do it on the dunes.
Yeah.
And you can have concerts on beaches. People do it all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
that's easy enough.
Yeah, no, that'd be too. I mean, the sand vibrating in a movie would be kind of awesome, though. Like experience wise, 10 out of 10.
They're like
Safety 0.
the worm, and it's like the sand's moving beneath you.
I mean, that'd be pretty sick.
It would be.
And
It's
then
like 4D to the
and then
extreme.
it sinks you down, and then a giant speaker crushes you in the sand. Like,
I'd pay.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, was
Wild
there any
Boys
other
3.
notes about how people should watch it with people,
Yes, with people.
with cold ones?
Yes.
Polar seltzer waters.
seltzer water. Oh, yeah.
Or some eggnog if you prefer.
Oh, okay. Here's one. Do it. I think a drinking it would be fun. Every
would be
time Wild Boys Jordan takes a sip from his drink, you got to take a sip from
You'd
your
be
drink.
dead.
Well, that's why you drink polar seltzers or
Yeah.
or like soda or whatever. Don't do this with actual hard drink. Do it with like a beer.
Yeah.
Well, you could do
Oh,
it
yeah,
with
a
the
beer you'd be
latter
fine.
two.
You could do a
Because
beer,
they don't
yeah.
happen as often.
A beer would be fine.
Yeah.
A sip from a beer.
Every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
Wild Boys Jordan takes a drink, you got to take a drink. What's for Wild Boys Ethan, Wild Boys Zach? What's something you should drink for them?
Every time Ethan denies someone what they want for what he wants.
Oh, no.
Anytime Ethan is selfish. Yep.
Yeah, anytime Ethan is selfish or anytime.
Anytime Zach mentions Thor,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
just talk to about myself in the
Is there one that
person.
for you, Zach, that carries through the whole movie? I wonder.
or
For like
whole
all
arc-
three
all
movies?
three?
Anytime Zach is denied being able to get what he wants.
That's actually good.
Honestly, yeah, yeah,
Those two go hand in hand very much in this
That's the
movie.
through line. Yeah.
yeah.
Ethan's
Anytime Zach has a good idea, drink,
Anytime he's
which is
around-
going to be like,
anytime Zach is a rational human.
yeah. Which, yeah.
There is a bit in Wild Boys 3 I'm very excited to hear the audience reaction of. You guys know what it is.
Oh yeah.
But that part of the movie
I want to watch this movie with people. I want to see people's
I
reactions.
want to see people's reactions too. Oh,
Yeah.
it killed. Why does the movie come out when it does?
Yeah.
It would have been awesome to do a screening of this one.
Oh, it would have been. It would have been fun.
What I think once we do more Wild Boys movies, like if we have like
should-
6 of them, like do like a marathon.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. 2 nights.
Yeah.
First night it's Wild Boys 1 through 3.
Yeah, first
Next night 4
4 through
through
6.
6.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Wild Boys 9.
Yeah. We've thought that far ahead.
Oh yeah. We have a plan.
We got a plan. Any other thoughts on Wild Boys or Two Little Ghosts or the movies coming? I guess what should people expect from us after that? Because we've kind of hyped up
Radio
about
silence.
we've talked.
We're
a
done.
Lot, we've talked a lot about these features, but what's next for us after these features? For this year, anyways. Let's limit it
This
to
year.
2022.
Well, we've kind of given you a taste in this podcast, but with a little bit of chaos. Kind of like some of the behind the scenes stuff. You'll definitely get more of that with Wild Boys 3 and Two Little Ghosts.
And bell rings. There's lots
And
of
bell
bell
rings,
ring stuff.
yes.
So much. Yeah.
So that's basically the rest of the year for the most part. That's going to be kind of our main focus.
Right.
And then you'll probably get some little bits and pieces of some other things that we might be working on in the future. Just like little short, vague updates, stuff like that.
Right.
Nothing this detailed though.
Right.
But we'll keep you posted.
I feel like I don't want to speak too soon or anything, but I feel like I highly doubt we're going to make a feature by the end of the year, another one.
Oh no.
No.
But it's always a possibility with the scale of our movies too.
Yeah, it just depends.
Never mind. I can't say this on the podcast. I'll talk to you guys afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secret movie planning.
That always sucks when I have something I want to say.
Yeah.
It's like, not during the cast. I'll have to wait.
Last week I almost spoiled something from
We edited something out of the podcast.
because I was a total
Oh my gosh.
it was a total slip up on my end. I totally spoiled something from Two Little Ghosts.
That was like a Rogue One moment where they had like the cast up on the stage
Right.
and the actor of Baze was like, "Oh yeah, when that character."
yeah.
It was kind of like that. And it was just like, "Oh."
It felt like there's that thing years ago when Game of Thrones was happening when Maisie Williams goes on like the Jimmy Kimmel show, and she's like, Arya dies, and then she's like, and she's like,
Just kidding.
just kidding.
Yeah.
I had a moment like that with Two Little Ghosts of like, it wasn't even like a plot thing. It was like another, it was like another
thing.
thing. It was
It's
a
a
thing
thing.
that happens, and I
Yeah.
wanted it to be kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're gonna have lots more videos coming out this year. We'll be around.
Truck on. We're
Yeah.
kind of hitting that normal rhythm again that we had in the spring of just like putting out
Right.
YouTube content.
Right.
And then the movie stuff will kind of be happening in the background.
Yeah.
And then
Or
more
it could
stuff
be
will
happening in
come
the
out.
foreground. If enough people want us to document our movie stuff, I don't see why not
Maybe
necessarily.
we'll reveal the man behind the curtain more often.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe if we hit a certain goal, it might be fun to do something.
Like 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it would be.
1,000 subscribers and 4,000 total watch hours?
Yeah.
That would be crazy though.
But I mean, like, do a reward, like if we get that. Not even a reward, but like
Some sort of like
I wish we
thing.
had like a big slate of movies coming out that we could show previews of. But by the
What,
time
like 12 feature films?
by the time we're done with these next 2 films, all our stuff is pretty much out except for La Danza and Coalescence.
Yeah, then we're kind of going to like back into
Empty slate.
a recession.
I will say, I'll say for La Danza, once the movie is like done shooting, like production is done, I'm gonna release a little something to show people, just to
to wet the palate.
wet their whistle a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a little, so you can get another taste of what's to come.
that's good.
But that movie's most likely next year. I do not see that movie coming out this year unless
Something crazy has to happen.
unless something wild happens. And even then, I don't even know how early next year.
That just kind of depends.
Because it's kind of I feel like it's a good.
that's a summer movie, I think.
I feel like it, but I don't know. It's a weird question of like when to release your movie. I feel like Wild Boys is so clearly a summer movie, and Two Little Ghosts is so clearly a fall movie. So it's kind of
Bell Rings was a good summer movie.
Yeah.
Could have been a winter movie, which would have been interesting.
It could have. I could see Bell Rings playing during the winter. Yeah. If you haven't seen the Bell Rings, go watch it.
Yes, please.
We need it to get to 1,000 views.
Otherwise, I get fired.
Yeah, Ethan's job is on the line. Right. I'm trying to think if we have any good winter movies aside from Wild Boys 2.
Yeah, Wild Boys 2 is definitely very much
The briefcases.
holiday.
I mean, they're going into short films though.
Thinking
So
out features.
yeah, just features. No,
We do Carnage is kind of a spring summer movie. Again.
I think House could fit kind of any time of year.
Right.
Maybe a winter. It's kind
We'll
of
have to
cold
do a
and
winter movie at
isolating.
some point,
Yeah.
like something like The Thing, where it's just like snow outside.
God, you see, that sounds great until you have to shoot it, and then it's like, this sucks.
Okay.
Now, if
you
you're
know
shooting
what?
inside,
when I go back to college, I will shoot something in the winter that we can have as a Doom production
yes,
There we go.
you have to do it.
And you'll
because it
fly
gets
us
so
out.
snowy. Oh gosh.
And you'll pay for the tickets.
When you do your thesis film though up there,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out,
Oh yeah.
We'll do that.
that'll be fun. They'll be like, "Who are these guys?" All your classmates.
And we just have mustaches on. We're just pretending to be.
We're like boom poles, snapping them over our knees. You don't need boom. Put a lav mic. No,
ADR, the whole thing.
no. Honestly, the gear that you guys will have access to is pretty wild.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
imagining.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just steal the gear.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
be like, "This is property of Doom Productions now."
Oops.
Put a sticker.
Yeah, put a sticker
on the
on it.
mic.
It's legally binding.
Yeah. Smuggle it out of Canada.
See, that's a movie in and of itself, right
Okay,
there.
hold up. What's legality? Like, okay, I'm thinking. Okay,
Are you thinking if we steal in Canada, we'll come
hold
back
up,
to the U.S.?
hold up though.
Oh no.
This isn't the same thing. There are centers at like universities and stuff, right? Like multicultural centers, different centers for this, and that.
You're asking us to be like...
There was a multicultural center at U of O where my girlfriend went,
Yeah.
and they had a movie library of different foreign language films.
Okay.
She borrowed a couple movies from them. Never gave them back. I don't know if it was by accident or on purpose. Probably by accident, knowing her. And I have them over there. No one's run down to chase them down. Now, gear is different. You know, you got to sign in, you got to sign out. But I'm thinking about the window. You sign it out on a Friday. We leave on a Saturday.
That's 2 days.
They're not going to expect it back till Monday. That's 2 days for us to get out of the country.
Plenty of time.
Dude,
That's more than enough time.
Let me back.
No.
We already graduated.
We have one of your friends sign it out. One of your filmmaker friends.
No, we make
And they'll be like, here's what we'll do. We'll create a duplicate case. We'll have it with cardboard shaped like a microphone. We'll have a Doom production stamp and it'll say, "You've been doomed." And it's like...
No, if you really want to do this, what you would do... This is terrible. This what a left turn. We keep doing this. We keep doing this. But what it would be is you would go online, you'd go to eBay, you'd find a broken version of the exact gear you're buying.
Oh, yeah.
So you return that.
Yes.
And you go a step further. You find a way to orchestrate an accident to where they take the gear and while they have it, they slip and drop it.
Oh.
That is a clean way.
Yes, I like that. I wonder how much it... Okay, we have to consider...
We
have to consider the cost of said broken microphone, purchasing it from eBay, the cost of bringing that over, because it might, if it's extra luggage, if it's in a case.
It's a microphone. No one's going to notice.
It all depends, though.
Man,
We have to
if
weigh
this
that...
is between bringing some clothes and bringing this fake camera in and out, I'm leaving my clothes behind.
If we have to consider it, the
carry
cost
on.
of the fake broken dummy mic...
Yeah.
compared to the cost of the actual mic, which is going to be significant, I would imagine. Do you know what kind of mics your film school has, Zach?
Oh, we have a few different kinds.
I'm assuming some nice shotguns like Rode NTG, whatever.
We've got some traditional shotguns. We have a couple different booms.
Booms would be easy to
a boom pole?
pole.
Those
because they collapse.
Sure.
They collapse.
It depends. I mean, yeah, some.
The shells will be
the
would be
blips that they
difficult.
go in, that's a big old thing.
I think
I'm more focused on the camera.
I don't think we need to steal a camera. We have good
Gosh.
cameras.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's the microphones we really need.
What cameras do you guys shoot on? Do you know? Do you got Reds?
No,
You got Aries?
they can't.
They might have like a red Komodo.
Yeah, we have a red. I don't know which one.
Probably like an older red
Yeah, but
Scarlet or something.
Think about this though. Buying
have
a
some
broken
nice
version of
stuff.
that model though, how likely is that? Okay, you do your research.
I'm going on eBay.
Because I think my theory is that
Zach, don't question it.
when you go to film school, everybody cares about the cameras. Nobody cares
Aaron,
about the
I'm
sound gear.
sorry.
Sound gear is very
Professor,
underrated.
I'm sorry.
Sound gear is very, very overrated. What are they going to do if they listen back to this? They're going to, like, go into America and try to take us? They can't do that.
This is America.
We're protected by our U.S. border.
Oh no.
That's how it works. You can go to another country, commit some heinous crimes, and come back to your own country totally free.
You can get expedited. Is that the word?
Yeah, but our country's, like, kind of terrible, so it's like, they're not going to follow through. I think the way to go is Mike. Is a good shotgun Mike. Because that's something that I've been meaning to buy. I've been putting off on buying it for long enough. So if in a few years, when he's doing his thesis film, and we haven't actually sank in the money into a good sound recording gear...
Or a gimbal.
Or a gimbal. You can snake a gimbal out. That's pretty easy. You just get some PVC pipe, spray paint it black, cut it up, and put some, like, nuts and bolts all over it so it looks like it's a disassembled gimbal. That's a good dummy gimbal right there.
Okay, so I'm not finding any good for parts things, but you can buy a full Red Epic X Dragon 6K camera for like $6,500 on eBay.
That's so $6,500 to go steal another camera?
No, I'm just saying at this point that's not a bad deal.
Oh no, that's not a bad deal at all. That's
like
a really good deal,
that's the full
actually.
Kit. That's the full kit. Like that's the monitor, everything. You're like set to shoot, no lenses. What mount? Okay, hold on. Now I'm on a rabbit hole. You guys keep talking. I'm looking at cameras now.
I think the
shopping.
question is how much time do we want to buy for ourselves, or how much like? Okay, you know what? Okay, actually, stop. I don't know how long we've been going.
What is happening?
Yes, you just heard us seriously consider stealing gear from Zach's film school.
Whoa. Don't call it serious.
No, we were joking.
Not yet.
Totally joking.
Absolutely joking.
We're not serious about it at all.
Oh, this is the ugly one. I don't want
We do comedy films. We can do comedy podcasts too.
Yeah, it was a joke.
It's satire.
I just watched the Nathan For You episode about dumb Starbucks last night.
It's a great one.
It's parody law.
Anyways,
This whole thing was a parody.
I think this is a good point to transition into what are you working on and what are you watching?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm still looking at cameras. Don't mind me.
What are we working on?
So first up, what are you working on? I mean, we've talked about this at length before. I would say, what's something you haven't talked about with the thing you are working on? So, for example, for La Danza,
Yeah.
I've done, as I've said, I've edited everything that I need to shoot with, essentially. So my task prepping for the next film shoot is this, pretty much. I mean, I have this whiteboard here that you guys can see
Yeah.
of like a to-do list of sorts of like, here's what needs to happen by the next film shoot. I'm aiming to shoot mid-October at the latest for the next weekend shoot. I have a to-do list of things I need to do. I need to contact the actors and actresses and all that stuff. I need to get the props, locations, and I have a Google spreadsheet that I have, two Google spreadsheets. One is the scenes and the schedule that we'll shoot them in. The next is the props and gear and stuff I need to bring to that shoot date. And then, so that's what I did most recently on La Danza, was organize a bunch of Google spreadsheets. And also organize the storyboards into a single file, a folder on my iPhone and iPad so I can reference those easily when I'm on set. So that's specifically the most recent thing I did. I know it's kind of a long way to ask a question, but what's something you've done for your thing that you're working on? Kind of something specific.
Zach, you should go next because mine's really boring.
Well, I've been working on organizing some locations and trying to find times that work with my actors for getting some big shooting portions out of the way. Coalescence is approximately 2/3 of the way done with its shooting, but what we do have left is some big portions that need to get cranked out, and in a timely manner. So
Right.
that it's been a lot of logistics right now. There's kind of been a slight halt in filming just because of schedules and stuff like that right now, with a lot of the actors being in school at the moment. So it's just been trying to be patient and work with schedules and stuff like that, which I expected would happen and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's not like, oh no, it's unplanned, it's time to panic type of thing. But
Yeah.
it's more like, okay, just finding what works best for everybody. So it's just a lot of logistics right now,
Scheduling.
which is not
worst.
it's not a very fun part of movie making, not at all, but it's a necessary part, and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Very true. Ethan, what's something specific you did for your next thing?
I thought about it a little bit.
Okay. What did you come up with?
I haven't decided what my next feature is yet.
Can you give us a taste of one of the ideas that you're considering?
One of the ideas is set in the 80s.
It's another period piece.
Another period piece of sorts, scaled way back.
Yeah.
I mean, logistically wise, I don't know. It might be about the same as The Bell Rings in a lot of ways, but it's more scaled down in terms of location.
I think it'd be, yeah, it's comparable to Bell Rings scale.
Because there's some visual effects stuff I'd want to do in it.
Right.
But nothing too crazy. Like, very within our ability to pull off. But I could still choose to go another direction. I don't know. It just kind of depends. But I was thinking about it more on a walk yesterday. I went on a walk because it was raining for the first time yesterday. And I was like...
Wasn't that today?
It rained
It did
today,
a little
but it
bit.
rained a little bit yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So it had that smell. Like, it had stopped raining.
Nice.
But it had that smell. So I was like, I'm going on a walk
yeah.
tonight. So I did. And I was thinking about the movie.
Nice.
And that's
Cool.
it. Just thinking of cool shots and cool ideas and cool moments.
Is there, do you set aside time out of your day to think about this movie?
Currently, no. That's just because of wedding
Yeah.
planning. Once I'm in October, that's going to change.
In general, though, outside of this month,
Oh,
when you're coming up with ideas for stuff, do you set aside time to think about it?
yeah, I do.
Cool. All right. Time for what are you watching?
I watched Ex Machina for the first time over the weekend.
You've never seen that before?
Never seen it.
I'm shocked. That seemed like a movie you'd love.
Yeah, it was cool. So I watched it. It was a good movie.
What took you so long?
I was lazy.
That's fair.
There's a lot of movies out there.
But I could have sworn you had seen that. I remember seeing that at the Fox Tower downtown, and there's a part where Domhnall Gleeson says, "I'm from Portland, Oregon."
Yep.
And when he said that, everybody in the theater went, "Hey!"
Sarah and I did that too. We went, hey!
But it was like a packed Portland theater.
And then his favorite, right in that same scene, one of his favorite songs is like, her band is Depeche Mode, and that's one of Sarah's favorite bands.
Oh, okay.
So Sarah had like a double A moment.
Nice.
But yeah, it was cool. It was a good movie.
Cool.
Lived up to the hype.
What'd you think? Zach, did you see Ex Machina?
I have not, no, but I know about it and stuff.
You'd like it.
So
It's a cool
it's
movie.
on my list. So
It reminded me kind of the movie Moon.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like those
comparison.
would be an interesting like double feature.
Yeah, that's a
Kind
good
of
point.
similar tones.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's another good one. Zach, what have you been watching?
I've been watching more Breaking Bad, trying to get caught up on that.
That's right.
Where are you at?
What episode am I on?
Last
I
week,
think
Did we
we're
talk
on
about that in the
episode
Wild Boys
6.
episode or not? I can't remember. 'Cause we
I think
recorded
it was
back
the
to back.
one that we recorded after that came out.
last
Okay, the one's
week.
already out.
last
Okay,
Friday.
cool. I wasn't sure
think.
people had context or
I
not.
think.
It'll work itself out.
People at me in the comments. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get caught up on that because I'm really behind. So I'm on like episode 6 or something of the first season.
That's the last one of the season.
Right.
I think it's only like 6 episodes or 8 maybe.
It's something
Short.
like that.
It's really
pretty darn
short.
short because it goes from like single digits to like 13 episodes a season
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do I really only have one more episode? Wow. Okay. Nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
That shows you're gonna start just blowing through it.
Yeah.
You don't want to stop watching that show.
Well,
It's a good one.
anything else you've been watching?
Rings of Power. I need to get caught up on that.
I haven't seen the
because
newest
I
one
was
either.
camping.
That's great.
I know where they go. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And then She-Hulk as well. So
Nice.
that's
She-Hulk's been fun.
been happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to just a lot of what's upcoming. So the Werewolf by Night.
I'm
Marvel
so
Studios things.
curious
I'm
about
so
that.
hyped
'Cause
for
I
it.
have
I've
no
been hyped for it
idea.
for a long time, and nobody's known about it. And I'm like, guys, this thing's
How
gonna
did
be
you
awesome.
know about it?
It's been on their slate. They've announced it
Yeah.
like years ago, I think. Right?
Well, I don't think Marvel Studios announced it. It was in the trades like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So is
And
this a
then
comic? Is this a thing? Or is this just something they're doing? I know nothing about
the
it.
character. So, sorry, slight tangent at the very end. I'm gonna be diving into Marvel briefly. So basically, they showed a trailer.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Okay, you did. Okay, so they're kind of taking a very artistic approach, which I really appreciate.
I do too. It's cool.
But they're diving into kind of the more mystical side of Marvel comics and stuff like that.
Okay.
So kind of like Werewolf by Night is basically just a werewolf dude. His name is Jack Russell.
Got it.
Comic book
So
names.
he's a dude in Marvel.
Yes.
Got it.
And then you got other characters that are showing up, like Elsa Bloodstone, who is if you've read comics,
She's
you know
from
who
Frozen.
she is.
Yeah, I know Elsa from the Frozen movies.
Okay, so basically, she's from a rich family
Yeah, she's a queen.
that, and she's like a monster hunter type character.
Oh. She's like a Van Helsing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. I'm catching on. Hugh Jackman.
But like, she's this really cool badass character. But like her family's rich, and so the setting for this story, which they don't show us in the trailer, but basically, it's this competition for the Bloodstone diamond.
Okay.
Or not diamond. It's like a gem of some sort.
They gotta fight a werewolf dude.
Well, he's in the competition. You just don't know who the monster is. And
So
then
one of them
Man-Thing
is a. So they have to find out who's the werewolf in this competition.
partly. It's kind of.
Dude, that's a great idea for a movie.
It's so
I've
cool.
assembled a bunch of werewolf hunters here. One of you's also. Oh, maybe that's a stupid idea. Never mind. Don't
I'm
listen to
gonna
me.
use the werewolf. Well, it's
No, I
like
was thinking like
it's
Hunger Games, but it's like you have to
Hunger
figure
Games
out.
and a thing,
Right.
which is pretty.
It would be
wild.
like it would have
And
to be
then-
like a competition.
Okay, hold on. I have a great idea for a movie.
Okay.
It's a combination where you take Predator. It's a bunch of predators, and they're fighting the thing, the alien in the thing.
Oh, okay.
And so they're like, got to figure out who's the. Maybe this is a terrible idea, actually. Maybe this actually doesn't work.
Isn't
at
this
all.
the
They
idea
would
I just
kill
said,
each
except with predators instead of people?
other. Yes, because that's more cool.
Did you guys see Prey?
No, not yet.
I need
Prey
to
was
watch it.
fantastic.
I need to
I've
watch
heard
it.
only phenomenal things
Yeah.
about
So
it. I just
good.
hadn't gotten around to it.
It's got Carrie from Legion in it.
I know.
Kicks butt.
I bet she does. She's so cool.
Anyways,
But basically, that's just the basic gist of it. And
Got
then
it. Okay.
Man-Thing is going to be there as well, which is basically the Marvel equivalent of Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
which is going to be really cool.
Okay.
There have been images online that are very cool.
I am
I'm
enlightened.
very excited to. This show's going to be cool.
nice.
Good stuff.
But yeah, that comes out the
This-
same time as
It's coming.
Two Little Ghosts.
Stream Two Little Ghosts first, then watch Werewolf by
Yes,
Night.
Two Little Ghosts first. then
Marvel's going to
Werewolf by
be
Night.
okay.
Marvel will be fine.
Marvel will be fine. They
Listen, if there was a great way to upset like the status quo and the like what's going on, like if Two Little Ghosts was trending the night that Werewolf by Night dropped, people would be confused. They'd be like, "What is this thing that's coming?" And they would have to go to our channel.
I had to figure out what the buzz is about.
I mean, that would never happen because Joel Haver had like over 500 people make feature films on Oscars night and no one talked about it.
Yeah. Most underrated event of 2022.
Oh, but that was also probably because Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. That was probably part of it.
That was Hollywood's whole plan to take out the folk filmmaking, truly independent movement was to do that. And it worked.
I guess so.
Now,
yeah.
We're down but not out. It takes a lot more than a hit from Will Smith to take us out.
Yeah.
Unlike Chris Rock. Just kidding. I don't know where this joke's going. Jordan, what have you been watching?
Well, if you listened to the episode last week, you know that I have been obsessed with the movie Legend.
Have you watched it 7 more times since that episode came out?
I've watched it many times. I won't specify how many.
It's not even in its case right now.
No, because it's in the Blu-ray player. The director's cut, I need to specify I'm obsessed with the director's cut.
Ultimate Edition is what it says here.
It's a thing that I get with movies where I get really fixated on them and I just watch them repeatedly, and there's other weird things about it, but I'll just leave it at that. It's been Legend. It's been Legend for a bit. I calculated it was since July 14th. This has been happening.
It's been a bit.
It's been a while. It's almost...
You're coming up on 2 full months here.
August, September. Yeah. Almost 2 months. I don't know what the next movie will be when I'll stop being obsessed with this one. You know, I would have to guess, if I had to guess, I would guess once October truly hits, I'll probably get into watching Halloween movies.
Yeah, probably transition out a bit more.
I won't be feeling... Because there's no, like... I don't really get this way around other seasons at all, where it's like, I want to watch something. Like in winter, I might want to watch, like, The Thing, or... Hateful Eight or something. Yeah, Home Alone. But not like a whole bunch. But in October, I really want to watch Halloween-themed stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so every other season is kind of up for grabs for what I'm in the mood for. So it's been Legend still, but we'll see what comes next. I wonder if it'd be worth doing a podcast of just a solo episode of just me talking about Legend. I don't know.
If we had like a blog, like a doomed blog post about Legend.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, I think on a not...
You should do a video about it.
Well, I think a video... What's the comparisons? There's a lot of rich comparison between the director's cut and the theatrical cut. Because it's not like Lord of the Rings where it's the same thing with just different, extended sequences. It's an entirely new score. The takes and the way the scenes are cut are completely different.
That's interesting.
Like...
Is the movie restructured too?
I don't believe so. Okay. Like, here's an instance. In the opening scene of the theatrical cut, it opens up with a shot of the Prince of Darkness in his chair. It's pushing in on him. And it's like a traditionally reverse shot of Prince of Darkness talking to one of his followers, goblin followers. And it kind of cuts before back between them, and he's scheming a little bit. And it's like a traditionally cut and edited sequence. In the director's cut, you never see Prince of Darkness. It's all from over his chair, and it's like 2 shots. One a wide, one a close-up of the goblin coming in and talking to the Prince of Darkness.
That's cool.
And so it's like entirely different. It's like footage, some of it's in the theatrical, yes, but a lot of it's like unused footage that's not in the theatrical whatsoever. And every single scene is like that.
Huh.
In a really weird way.
That's so cool, though.
And it's also fascinating because in the theatrical cut, if you know the directors, you'll see how they shortened dialogue scenes. Or used alternative takes of dialogue scenes to like have an easier way to cut around something or cut out of something. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating.
I'll have to watch this sometime.
Yeah. I will, if I feel frisky enough, I'll do like a hour long or 2 hour. I'll like do like a scene by scene comparison of like the whole thing. If this thing gets like bad enough, Succession. Because I think that's a really good exercise, not in terms of like, again, talking about good or bad, but like cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, of the different choices in the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
We kind of
Anyways.
did talk about that beforehand, like in one of our previous episodes that was like different
Right.
versions of movies and stuff.
And this would be a good example in terms of like you can actually see like two very different versions of the same thing and the effect that they have and all that. But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we'll wrap up there for today. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
No, that sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. Remember, hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. You definitely want to stay up to date when we release Wild Boys and the Wild Boys trailer next week, and
So hit that bell.
and the Two Little Ghosts preview and film in October. You know, we're really close to 1,000 subscribers. We're really close to a lot of kind of goals we've been trying to reach. So share us, watch us, follow us, all that kind of
We're
stuff.
so close to selling out, guys. We're still a little bit away.
Hollywood is knocking on our door right now. No, but yeah, no, all the support means a lot to us. You know, it's really cool that people like watching our stuff.
Yeah.
So tell your friends about us. Yeah. But anyways, until our next episode, until next week, I hope you have a good week.